So you've been thinking about buying your first home. Don't. But hear me out. You just gotta do it scared. You're about to learn the truth about buying your first home that will disrupt everything and might just change your plans. I'm Rosie, a real estate investor with over a dozen properties under portfolio. And in this video, I'm going to show you why you shouldn't buy your first home as your forever home. First, you have to ask yourself, what do you desire for yourself? 10 years from today, 20 years from today, or even 30 years from today. Because think about it, the mortgage on a property is a good 30 years. You see, for me, it took an extremely traumatic work experience as a Black woman to wake up and realize that if I didn't save myself, this job was literally going to kill me. I was actually in a hospital bed and I thought to myself, how did I get here? How did I allow this to happen to me? My body's clearly reacting to something. Doctors can't even figure it out. But what if I also had a mortgage to pay on top of all of this? So I vowed to myself and I said, I'm going to own my time. I'm going to figure this thing out and build financial security that if I then wanted to get a job or explore the many gifts that God had given me, I'd be able to do that on my want, okay? Life is not about just waking up, putting on a mask, going to work, coming home, eat, sleep, repeat. No. So the advice that I would give someone like myself who wants to buy their time back, who wants financial freedom now versus let's say 60s or 70s, if we're lucky, as a successful real estate investor today, is to buy a multifamily as your first home. You're going to use a program like the FHA First Time Home Buyer program that allows you to buy up to 4 doors. Residential multifamily, as they call it. That is what I want you to get. I truly believe home ownership is one of the best ways to build generational wealth for someone like myself, growing up in America in such a deficit, okay? With absolutely nothing. I remember in college, I would stay on campus over the summer just so I can have somewhere peaceful to lay my head, I can have food to eat. So we're building from the negative. Is there anyone that's been in that situation where you basically had to build your life from scratch? I remember back then, I'd go into a bank. I mean, you gotta be embarrassed to go into the bank with those kind of numbers in your bank account. And you know that teller looking you like, what are you doing here? But please give me some $5. But life, yeah, it was super challenging. But I say that is because I know you've worked hard, you've built something, and now I think it's so pivotal. Buying that home, because it is the biggest purchase, most likely, that you're ever going to make in your life. So it's either going to put you in handcuffs and kind of put you towards a path where you're always going to owe this debt over your head, or you can take a path still with home ownership that allows you to build a foundational financial freedom, a foundational generational wealth that you're not tied to needing to work in order to survive. You're not tied to needing to do something that is hurting you or that you're not welcomed into, but rather having the power to choose what you do for work, having the power to choose how you impact your communities and your societies. And honestly, that comes with foundationally building your financial freedom, foundationally building your finances. So for me, real estate has been the best way that I've been able to leverage what has been there. Generations before me had been able to take advantage of it. So I said, let me study this, let me figure it out, because never will I ever allow any corporation to treat me less than. So yes, absolutely rethink what it means for you in buying into this American dream. You don't realize it, but buying a home is actually a business decision for you. And so I will highly advise you to think strategically of this business decision that will change or pivot your life for a very long time. Make a wiser one by buying a multifamily unit. And here's how you're going to do it. So you're going to find a rundown 4-door multifamily unit in a great neighborhood near school, near a hospital. Now I don't want to hear, oh, well, it's so easy. Well, I asked you in the beginning, maybe Busao will say, what do you desire? You see, you're making me finish all my chi. I asked you in the beginning, what do you desire for yourself 10 years from today, 20 years from today, 30 years from today? For me, it was having the power to say yay or nay when it came to a job. For me, it was having the power to buy my time back. For me, it was having peace of mind and being like, this is too much for me. I'm out of here. Or no, I'm going to push this further. And once you kind of build a financial foundation, hey, nobody can tell me anything, okay? So you're going to leverage the FHA's, 3.5% down now. I even heard they're coming up with a new program where it's 0% down. Your traditional Freddie, Franny, all these folks, Max, they're 3% down. You're going to leverage that to buy a 4-door unit. You can even do 2 or 3, but I'm all for go big or go home, okay? I bought 5 houses in like 3 months and over 10 houses in under 2 years. So go for the 4. So if you're buying a 4-door unit, this is how you're basically sowing the seed to set yourself up in building your financial freedom and building your generational wealth. And by the way, there are many down payment programs that are out there today, like so many. How do I know? I even leverage some of these programs to help renovate the homes because my homes go to the underserved. So let me know in the comments if you know of any programs in your area. Maybe someone can be reading it and they can get value off of that. Do you know of any down payment assistance programs that you've utilized, or you know of a friend that has utilized it? Share it. Okay, so the reason why I wanted you to find the worst house or multifamily unit on a good block is because when you're picking a lender, you want to make sure your lender is familiar with a 203K loan. That is a loan that you're going to use to rehab the home. So this allows you to take out one loan for 2 purposes: to buy the home and to renovate the home. You already are budgeting the renovation in the total amount that the lender deems you worthy of lending to you. So instead of buying 1, buy 4. So now you're armed with your 203K loan that's ready to go looking for that ideal home. I've touched a bit on it, but let's delve a bit deeper. Rosie, what areas shall I invest in? The first best option is where you know, where you live, where you're familiar with, because you understand the market just by living in it, just by going to the stores, just by having friends, just by seeing how kids move and operate in those communities. Well, Rosie, we don't really have anything like that in my area. I don't think I come across. Well, sis, move. Okay, you know, we ain't a tree. Even a tree, it directs to get some sunlight for the photosynthesis. So if we are not a tree, then we should be able to move, because we're not just doing some quick changes here. We're building a foundation that allows us the freedom of time that we want for the long haul. I'm in my 30s. I'm in my 30s. Maybe shouldn't tell people my age. Unless somebody's trying to marry me. They must be kind of wealthy. If I don't want to get a job, I don't. But that's not even as valuable to me as the power I have with my time back. The power to be able to create this channel and to be able to do it with so much fun and so much ease and just totally being myself. Like that, it is transformative. Anyways, let me reel myself back in. So you want to find a home that is in a good area, low crime rate. At least half of my homes back up to a park. So it becomes such a great attraction for that family that I'm looking for. A beautiful walk to the park. The kids get to enjoy that. So those are things you want to think about when you're looking for that ideal home. Okay, so now you want to get the right people to inspect the home. You want to inspect for structural integrity, your plumbing, your HVAC or HVAC, electrical systems, any potential code violations. Some people out here just building out things and it's so out of code. These are all the things you got to be aware of coming into buying the home. I've done this so many times that give me 10 minutes in a home, 5 in the attic, and I know it's a yay or nay. Okay, so we found that diamond in the rough. You use that FHA 203K loan to buy it and begin your renovations. Don't worry, sis, don't get overwhelmed. The beauty about a 203K loan is it is in increments and measures. So you're gonna have the time to learn, and the contractors need to follow a lot of guidelines from the lenders because their work is inspected in increments and they're getting paid as they move along the project. So take your time, renovate the first one, and then you move yourself and your family into it. Then you take your time, renovate the second one, you rent it out, renovate the third, you rent it out, renovate the fourth, you rent it out. Now, here is my unpopular opinion, okay? I want you to rent to a Section 8 voucher holder family. I know, I said it. Why? Because my whole business model is built providing value for Section 8 voucher holders. You see, I got into this business with such an idea of this Section 8 voucher holder and how horrible they are. And the truth is, just like you and me, there are mothers who want better for their children, who want a better zip code to be able to take their kids to better schools, who want peace so they can take their kids peacefully to the park, who want better for themselves. They are working, they are thriving. Let me tell you, I enter some of my tenants' homes and you wouldn't even find a pin drop on the floor. That's how clean they are. But there's a vetting process. I don't play around with my vetting process at all. There is protocol and process that you have to put in place that increases your chances of finding a family that fits the model that you're looking for. A family that would cherish all that you've put into the home and at the same time take care of the home. And I know you might have an idea of who you think that voucher person looks like. Let me tell you, your neighbor could be a voucher holder, okay? HUD, which is the Housing Urban Development, they are putting out way more vouchers to support people, to support our communities, because it's expensive to live out here. So don't take the notion that you hear just through grapevines and whatnot on what you think a voucher holder will treat your home as, or what you think they live like, and take your time, create a process and protocol to go through all the applicants that are coming in and choosing somebody who will value the home that you've built, because they also want to set roots and create a foundation for themselves and their children that brings them that peace of mind. So girl, don't sleep on Section 8, okay? Because my rents are guaranteed. And I'm not gonna go in detail, but let me just tell you what the average cash on cash return is. Yeah, double that. That's mine. Okay, for each house, my cash on cash return is over 20%. And I think the average right now is about 12%. I can do a separate video and go in detail on those numbers, but this is just to get you thinking about that big business decision that you have to make about buying your first home. Okay, so you've got those 3 rents. It's most definitely going to cover your mortgage, or at least a good chunk of it. And you're basically living free and basically aggressively building equity in your home. Because remember, I had you get the worst house on a good block, because you fixing it up, you basically forced equity in that home. So after a year, you're gonna go back to your lender, or I like a small local bank because their rates are always so good and their fees are minimal, and you're gonna cash out refi because you've been building with rents and you renovate the homes to increase and force appreciation. And you're most likely gonna get some money back. Even in the market that I invest in, it's not a strong equity market, it's a strong rental market. But even when I refinance after I've renovated the homes, I make a good profit. So you do it well, you buy low, you renovate it, you get your numbers right. When you refi out, you'll be able to make a profit on it. Now, this is not fun money. We're not there yet, okay? Slow down. This is just like step 1. Would you plant a tree, okay, a fruiting tree, and as soon as you saw the seedlings, like, no, we wouldn't do that. So why would you do that to your money right now? Please, if you bought anything in your mind, return it. Return it right now. We're gonna do this again. Okay, a year later, you're gonna do it again. And I want you to pace yourself. I would say every 2 years, you repeat this 4-door process. Here, you actually have the option. You can move again and actually use an FHA loan again. Yes, you can use an FHA loan again. There are just protocols around that on where you can and cannot buy now. But if you have that funds and it makes sense just to buy another 4 unit, then you go ahead and do that. Because the goal here, it's like a building block, a foundation. You're laying the bricks. Oh, look at me, honey. You're laying the bricks of your foundation for your financial freedom. Don't eat your children yet. Don't eat your seedlings yet. We're just building the foundation. So yes, I want you to pace yourself. Do this every 2 years. I'm the crazy one who did a whole bunch in just under a couple years, and I would totally advise you to take your time and do it. And you're still working, so this is just a little side part-time gig thing you're doing, and it's bringing you money. You're leveraging the job, right? They're using you, your skills, your time. You're using them because you need income income to show to these banks that you are, well, foundationally sound and you will pay your loans and all that good stuff. They use you, you use them, you build up to a point where maybe you don't need them anymore, or maybe now you have a change like, I'm gonna do this job today. Okay, my husband got 3 jobs. No, I'm not married yet. And mind you, as you're going along, you are heavily reducing your tax liability. Like, the benefits of real estate is plentiful. The rents are exciting, you know, it gives me money to do fun things, but you've got your tax liability that you can leverage depreciation, your renovation costs and other things with it. Okay, so if you did this every 2 years, buying 4 doors in just 10 short years, you could easily have over 20 doors. Doing this just every 2 years. And you might think like, oh, 10 years, that's too long. Imagine if you had a 3-year-old daughter today. In 10 years, she's only gonna be 13. That's still very young. And in that phase of her life, she has her mom back. You're able to get into hobbies if you want to. You're considering retiring in your 40s? Yeah, that's a reality for real estate investing. When done right, when done patiently, when done over time. Because doing it this way and utilizing the business model that I use and I've shared with you, you are basically cementing wealth for yourself and for your family, cementing financial freedom for yourself and for your family. I'm at the point where when I wake up on Monday and I'm just not feeling it, I'm like, let's try again on Tuesday, okay? I go right back to bed and I'm still collecting rents. That's the level of peace I want for you. You've worked way too hard not to set yourself up with this type of generational wealth that is accessible to you for you to build for yourself over time. I say take the leap, okay? It's not easy, but it is honestly totally worth it. And your future self will thank me. I'll see you in the next video.